tidy. Not very tidy, actually. How could you expect there to not be any technical issues on a Creaky Blinder stream? Right, I'll ignore the long, drawn-out introduction and show you my guest. This guy here, Mr. Sensible, who should now be unmuted. So say hello, Dad.
Hello, Dad? What do you mean, Dad? That's you, mate. I've had so many people ask me if I'm your son.
If you're my son, that's just a bit rude. That is just a bit rude. Right, so hopefully now the side chat can hear us.
Hello, side chat.
Can you hear me? Can you hear my dad? Please say yes, because this has been stressful enough before we've even gone on air. So how long is the delay? I'm waiting with bated breath to find out whether people can hear us. So we'll just base it on the assumption that they can hear us. So obviously, some of you will know who this handsome devil right here is. This is Mr. Sensible. Strangely enough, from the Mr. Sensible channel. Now, he's been on YouTube since the 30th of December 2018. Because research is what I'm all about these days, Dad.
Yeah, well.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, mate, so I can stop to breathe for just 2 seconds while I compose myself.
I think you need it. I think you need it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I've been on YouTube since 30th of December, but I didn't post any videos until I think it was July when I finally got round to doing it, when I had some time and decided that was it. I was going to get stuck in. Yeah, and it's been quite a ride since then. I won't say it's been a roller coaster, because that's what everyone says.
Yeah, that's well, a cliche, as they call it, to use a posh word. Apparently, we've got some sort of echo, coming back from the side chat. Apparently, I just saw somebody saying,
I can see.
Yeah,
yes.
A couple of people are saying there's an echo. Why is that?
Who is echoing?
You, apparently.
Well, you know why? It's because I'm coming out your speakers.
Yeah, but it shouldn't make any difference, because if I be quiet...
And I just speak...
Yeah, it doesn't get picked up by my microphone, so it's not that that's doing it. Oh, God.
Robert Price says, sadly, we're coming through loud and clear.
Damn, that's just rude and hurtful. So, now some people are saying there is echo, some people are saying there's not. So if I move myself a little bit further back and move my microphone a little bit further away from the speakers, as long as I can hear you and the side chat can hear you, we should be all good.
Yeah, well,
we should be all good.
It's me that's got a slight echo, apparently.
Yeah. Is it terrible, or can we manage? Wear my headphones, somebody is saying. Will that cure the problem, though?
It should do.
Right, let's try that then.
Give it a go.
Give it a go?
Yeah.
Right, now the only problem is you were coming through the speakers now, so now we're going to have to risk fiddling with the sound again.
But if it all screws up, everyone hop over to my channel and I'll run a stream.
Yeah, I was going to say, right, let's, let me just, yeah, I'm over to headphones. So that should, has that cured the problem? I hope it has. And I'm just going to base it on the assumption that it has and get on with my questions. And I've always wanted to know this about you. How did you come up with your channel name?
Do you know what it was it was actually quite difficult to think of a name. And I wanted it to be something a bit silly. And I remembered that guy, Yahoo Serious. Do you remember him?
I don't actually, but then I'm nowhere near as old as you, am I? So
I set myself up for that one, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. Strike one.
Yahoo Serious. And I just thought that sort of combination of name was quite good. And so, you know, it was available, and I thought I'd go for it because, yeah, I want to be sensible about things. I don't want to be all flat-eyed and stupid.
Yeah.
And so that was it, really. So
no extra special story then?
No, afraid not. No,
yeah, it's the same as mine. Mine purely came, everybody seems to think there's like some big elaborate story as to why I'm called the Creaky Blinder. I just like the Peaky Blinders. I'm old, so I'm too old to be peaky. I'm creaky. It's really as simple as that. So obviously, as I said, you've been doing this now since December last. Did you start straight away? I forget, because obviously I wasn't aware of you straight away, because like Dan last week, he started his channel years before he actually began uploading. But did you start this specifically for this sort of project, or was it something you had anyway? And
well, I had another channel which is private, just for sort of hobbies and bits and pieces. But this one I started with the aim of going against young Earth creationists and flat earthers. And I set it up for that in December, but life got in the way, so I couldn't get to do anything until sort of midsummer last year. Well, last year.
So obviously you've just said you started it up to look at flat earthers and young Earth creationists, but if you had to pick another topic to make videos about, and it can't be either of those things, nothing conspiracy related, what do you think it would be?
Nothing conspiracy related.
Yeah, ideally, I'm not putting you on the spot, but if you had to sort of set up go right back to the beginning and start all over again, but you couldn't touch anything you currently do, what is there anything else what else do you watch on YouTube, for example?
To be honest, I spend my time on YouTube is researching flat Earth rubbish now.
Yeah.
But if I was looking to do a channel from scratch, with 2020 hindsight, I'd have learned how to play flipping Minecraft, and I'd be doing that, and I'd be on to a winner. No, I think I'd always be doing something. I've always had a history of. This sounds a bit. I'm not sure what the word is. I had a past issue. Maybe you've heard. Have you ever heard of KF Concept?
I haven't, mate, no.
You haven't? Right, it was this scam this guy was running back about 20 years ago, maybe a little less, and he hit a lot of people in Wales, especially old people. So maybe, I just thought maybe you fell for it.
Yeah,
it was one of these Ponzi scams where people would invest £1,000 and 6 months later, 2,000 back. That's brilliant. So they put the 2,000 back in. So basically they've got nothing. And I could see these people getting ripped off. And I started a website. It was just a web forum.
Yeah.
And I because I wasn't invested in it and I'd nothing to gain or lose by it, I just wanted to help some people. And so I ran this forum, and it got quite big. And this guy, he was sponsoring a football club. I forget which one. He lived in Kent. And it got bigger and bigger. It got onto one of these sort of panorama type programs, and my website was shown. And
was it?
Yeah. Only as a static background image, but hey.
Yeah, still. Shown is shown.
Yeah. And I also got a call from a detective in the a detective in the Kent police force about it, asking me for what information I had. That guy actually got done in the end, and he went down for 14 years.
Really?
So, yeah. So I really felt
bloody hell.
He didn't go down because of me.
No,
but I helped.
But you contributed.
Absolutely.
You contributed.
And I got a good kick out of that.
Yeah.
And I don't like to see people taken advantage of. I don't like to see people lied to. And so the whole flat Earth thing fits in quite nicely, really.
Yeah, exactly. I'm exactly the same thing. That's where my problem with the flat Earth lies. And it's not so much that, because I know they kind of have the potential to cause harm.
Yeah.
But essentially, it's just a silly belief. So in that sense, it's kind of quite harmless.
Yeah.
I know it can draw people in, but if you compare it to, as Dan was saying last week, anti-vaxxers, that kind of thing, no, that's just dangerous.
Isn't it just? People are dying because of that.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously now you've been doing this, well, over a year. So what is it about being a YouTuber that you sort of enjoy? What is it that keeps you going? Because, I know what size your channel is, so I know how much money I make from it. I remember how much money I was making when I was USI, so I can pretty much guarantee you ain't doing it for the money. So what is it about it that kind of keeps you going?
Well, one thing is to try and teach people maths, because that's now 3 times you've said about me starting back in December, but I actually made my first video in July.
Ah, right. Yeah, of course, the channel started in December. It's not that I'm not good at maths, it's just I'm generally ignoring what you say.
So I've been doing it for 10 to the negative 17 months now.
Yeah.
Why do I do it? Yeah. It is partly what I was just saying, wanting to literally debunk rubbish and help turn some people, even if it's only one or two, away from that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But through my kind Patreons, which I really do appreciate, I've been able to improve. I mean, I've got myself a nice mic here.
Yeah.
I've got myself video editing software that you helped me choose.
Yeah.
And I aim to improve lighting. So it's self-funding because I don't have the money to fund this.
Yeah.
So that's self-funding and, a bit better than. So you're right. I can't go and retire on what I'm making.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that if the channel continues to grow, that it will become more and more of a help, and
I think we've all secretly got this hope that it'll become self-sustaining.
Yeah.
Because as much fun as it is, things have always got a habit of being even more fun if there's a financial reward. And I think, some people say, oh, I don't care if I ever make money, but I think if you're investing a substantial amount of time into it, then you're going to be wanting some sort of monetary payoff, aren't you? In the long term.
Well, right now I've been churning out 5 videos a week.
Yeah,
and we had a little chat the other day. It doesn't take me as long to do a video as you because of different methods and so on.
Yeah.
But 5 videos a week is a substantial investment.
That's pretty much a full-time job on top of
a full-time job.
Job.
So I'm pulling in the hours to do this.
Yeah.
But I don't mind because I do enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly the same as me. And I think the day that you stop enjoying it, whether you're paid to do it or not, because even if you're earning a lot of money from doing it and you don't enjoy it, it becomes a chore. Because we've all had jobs throughout our lives, and yes, we get paid to do those jobs, but you hate it because it's not what you really want to be doing. So I don't see that YouTube would be any different. If it became a chore and you stopped enjoying making the videos, then, money or no money.
Point, really, would there?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I've always said, people ask me in the comment section, do any of the videos I make ever make me angry or upset me? They don't, to be honest, because I really couldn't give a monkey's chuff. I enjoy...
I had one which I think was, I can never remember which way round it is, Nathan Thompson or Roberts had done a book for school kids telling lies about flat Earth. And at the end of his video, there was some young mum with her kid showing the book.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, how wonderful! Mr. Thompson or Roberts has sent us this book, and that made me angry. That really did. That's the only one that's made me angry.
Because I forget who it is, because as everyone knows, I've got the worst memory in the world. But isn't somebody campaigning to try and get flat Earth taught in schools? I'm sure I've either heard somebody talking about it or I've read it.
In this country or elsewhere? Because that's
I can't remember. That's far too much detail for me to remember.
It's similar to the whole young Earth creationist thing. They keep trying to get that taught in schools, especially in the States.
Yeah. Right, somebody's just asked me something in the side chat. You're not taking Q&As from the side chat tonight. No, silent contributor. We will be taking questions from the side chat later on, but I've got to get through my list first. So, how much attention do you pay to your comment section? Negative, positive, whatever it may be. Good, the bad, and the ugly.
I massively follow my comment section.
Yeah.
And I... unless it's a comment that I absolutely despise, I'll heart it to show, just to acknowledge I've been there, I've seen it.
Yeah, I do exactly the same thing. I make sure that within what I've started doing now, because obviously the more people see what you put up, the more difficult it gets to stay on top of it. So I now say my video that goes up on a Friday, Friday evening and throughout all Saturday, I'll make sure that every single comment gets at least a heart and a reply, if a reply is appropriate.
Yeah.
But it's getting more and more difficult to keep up with it, because I'm sure a lot of people think that we don't see all the comments, but we do. But the only ones I absolutely 100% ignore, anything that's mean.
Yep.
I don't even give it the time of day. I've got, and I think it was Simon Dan who sort of shared this idea with me, just delete and block and move on, because they can say whatever they want about me. It's not going to change my life or what I do. And, you know, being called baldy and four eyes, you know, that wears off pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because, I haven't got any hair and I do wear glasses. So, you know, that's about the extent of what I get. I don't really get many negative, mean comments. And I think that's because of the way I structure the videos. I'm not using anything that they can then turn back on me. Does that make sense?
I think so. I mean, I like I say, I go through all the comments. I heart the vast majority of them. I try, if at all possible, to let everything go through. I've had to delete a couple of anti-Semitic ones or racist ones, but not too many. Aside from that, I'll let them go through. Even with swearing that I wouldn't use, although if it's just purely swearing and insulting either me or the person I'm talking about, then I won't let that go through. I think the majority of mine seem to end up in the spam folder if there's excessive. If there's excessive swearing, it just automatically gets dumped into the spam folder. But if it's somebody who's like a regular commenter, and I know, you know, the way it's meant, it's not meant, you know, badly, then I'll dump it into the regular comments, feed them. But, and another thing as well is, and I don't know if people realize this, but as soon as somebody puts a link in a comment, it gets dumped in spam anyway. And I had a look in my spam folder the other day, and I haven't been staying on top of it, and I've got like nearly 100,000 comments in my spam folder. Oh man.
So I probably nobody will probably ever see those comments. So do you remember your first negative comment? Because I kind of remember mine, because it was in my very first video, and I told the story last week, my very first Flat Earth video. Within an hour or so of it being up, Nathan Thompson picked up on it and dumped it into his Facebook group, and I had like 50 subscribers, and I had like 3 likes on it. 2 of them were probably from other YouTube accounts I had, and the other one was probably from my wife. And then I had 1,800 thumbs down.
1,800.
So you know, do you remember your first negative comment?
I've got to be honest and say no.
No?
Probably my first negative commenter that I remember, though. He's a regular. What is it? Bobman Bob or something. But I do, every now and then, I do a segment of my video with showing Flurf's comments, and he's known as Mr. Nobby Bob, the Odd Job Bob Knobman, or some variation on it. And what I do remember is he made some anti-me comments, plenty of anti-Globe comments, but then, and this was really touching, when I had my 1,000 subscriber special, he put a comment. It just said, "Congratulations." Which I thought was wonderful, and he still comments now. He's doing photo memes of me now.
Like, you know, I don't care who comments on my videos, because it's nice to have comments there, because it's kind of, you know, when my videos go up on a Friday, I get up on a Saturday, and there's hundreds of comments to read through, and I love it, because it gives you a nice sort of feeling, doesn't it? Because you know then that people have engaged with the video. Because if you put a video up and say you got up the next day and it had, I don't know, 1,000 views, but there were only 3 comments, you'd be like, something's a bit off here, isn't it? Because I think if people don't comment, then chances are they haven't watched the whole video, and they most certainly haven't enjoyed it, because they've not seen any reason to comment.
I'm quite fortunate in the amount of comments I get. And I do make a special effort for Patreons if I spot them, but also anyone who's a really regular commenter, because you do get to know them, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. And you do kind of feel like you know these people, because you're having conversations with them multiple times a week. And another thing I've started doing, and again, I don't know if if some people won't like this in the long run, but when channel members comment, there's an icon, you know, you can separate the comments into channel members, and I think it's important that I make sure that every single channel member that comments, that I take the time to write some sort of meaningful reply, you know. So
until you got
yeah, it's,
and then you're stuck
you know,
again.
I'd love to reply to every single comment with something more meaningful than thank you or I'm glad you enjoyed it, but it's so time consuming. Yeah, you know. But I do say this in live streams and videos and everything, you know. People can rest assured that I do see every single comment. I never skim by any of them. I read them all. But again, it takes a lot of time to do that, and if you add that onto the time it takes to you know exactly what I'm talking about, the time it takes to research the videos, then record and edit the videos, staying on top of the comments adds multiple hours onto that part of the job.
The only plus side of it is you can do it any time. Like you said, you get up in the morning. When I get to bed, I'll have a last look.
Same as me.
See if there's any new comments, just to tick them off.
Yeah, just to stay on top of them, isn't it?
But for me, I have said on my live streams, it appears, I'm waiting for final results, but it appears that I've got traits of Asperger's. Yeah. And the whole thing with the analytics, how many views have I got against my normal, how many subs have I got, how many patrons have I got, there's some targets for me to try and beat. I keep challenging myself to try and improve it all the time.
So do you do that with your subscriber number? Have you sort of said that I would like to have X by the end of 2020, or do you just go with it and take it for what it is?
I sort of go with it, but it's all, how long till I reach the next 100? Or how long till I tick over the 500 mark? It's just to that extent. Yeah. No targets. Because
I know everybody will advise you to not get caught up in the numbers, but it's really difficult not to.
I think that's good advice if you're going to worry about it. I don't worry about it. It's just, oh man, look, I've ticked over another 100. Oh, well, we're pleased with that.
I don't worry about it, but if I get up, and it doesn't happen often, thank goodness, but if I get up and I've got less subscribers than I went to bed with, then, you know, I only usually cry for about 3 hours, but once I stop and realise it's not the end of the world, it's fine then. It's fine. So, a lot of people have said to me in my comment section, and you may well have had the same thing, that we are doing more harm than good, that we are bringing undeserved attention to Flat Earth. What do you think of that statement? Do you think it's true or not?
With regard to Flat Earth and the conspiracies, I think not, because we're panning them, absolutely panning them, because they've got nothing. Yeah. The one thing that had me worried is I've had a couple times when I've done a video and someone said, you shouldn't have done a video about him or her because I think they've got mental health problems. Yeah. And I was I'm not sure if I was chatting with you about it or someone else the other night. And it's so difficult to know. Now, I did do an early video about this girl who very, very definitely had some mental health problems. Yeah. But I didn't link to her channel. I didn't link to her video, and I explained why. And it was just talking about what she was saying. Yeah. With absolutely no mockery at all. Yeah. And in fact, I was quite concerned about her. And I did a bit of research and was pretty sure she was in a certain area of Australia. So I rang the Australian police with a fear for her welfare. Yeah. And so I don't know if anything came of that. I hope it did.
Yeah, and you probably will never find out.
I'll never find out.
But that's the thing, see. Mental health is such a complex issue. How do you watch a video and then figure out for yourself whether that person is just being stupid because they believe in Flat Earth, or whether they do have some sort of mental health issue that's led them down that path? Where is that line?
Well, this girl was very definitely across that line. You could tell just by her mannerisms, her eyes kept going wide, and she she kept stumbling in certain ways that really made you feel uncomfortable. Thought there's something wrong there.
Yeah.
But as for others, let's pick one at random. Say Nathan, Rob. Well, perhaps they're not a good one. What about that Barnabas Nagy?
Oh God, yeah.
Like him, yeah.
He's definitely mental. I don't care what anyone says.
But is he mentally ill, or is he just mental as in the he's crazy? I think he's just crazy.
I do. I don't think he's got any mental health issues at all. No. I just think he's a nut job in the traditional sense of the word. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because damn, I couldn't even think of anything then. You know, he's definitely up there with some of the
fairies.
yeah, you know, he's
quite a character, isn't he?
Yeah. But again, you know, how much of that is an act because it's become his livelihood, and he needs his videos to get progressively more outlandish to retain the interest of his audience. I think, anyway.
Yeah, I've done a couple of his videos as well, and you're right. He's out there.
Yeah, I love making videos about him because they make themselves. They're so easy because, you know, quite often you've got to watch through them, as you know, and you've got to really be listening. All right, he said that. That's definitely wrong, so I can make fun of that. But with my mate Barney, every sentence is a winner. Do you know what I mean? So you can't fail to make a video about him.
Yeah, and there's a few others out there. When I start, right, I'm going to do their video. I just set it playing. They'll talk, snip, right, and I'll respond. And then let them talk, snip. And I don't need to do any research because it's so stupid. Yeah. It's obvious.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to do more research.
Yeah, exactly. That it's funny, you know, because that's one of my gauges on the way I make a video. The more research I've got to do, then let me rephrase that. So if I don't need to do any research at all to instantly be able to see that this person is a raving nut job, then great. But if I've got to look something up and think, right, is that right? Is it? And it always ends out that it's wrong. Yeah. But if I watch it and think, I better check on that because I'm not quite sure enough to just come out and say it, I think that's a gauge of how insane that person is or isn't.
But I mean, I did a video against Sleeping Warrior, Anthony Riley, when he was talking about vacuums, a vacuum next to gas pressure next to a vacuum, and he was talking about the Plum Brook vacuum chamber. And I really enjoyed doing the research on that and pulling up the plans of it. And it was through that I actually came across a guy in a comment section for a video. I replied to him asking him for, a couple of questions, and then he reached out to me, and it turned out that he is ex-NASA senior test engineer, retired.
Is that the guy that's been on your live streams?
That's right.
Yeah.
Such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. And so that's been quite a wonder, and I've had a really nice time chatting to him.
Yeah.
But yes, it was a really interesting thing to research.
Yeah.
And like you said, of course, Riley's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So do you find that in the time you've had your channel that you know things now that you only know because you've either had to research them or you've learned it by being part of this community?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, same as me.
To both of those.
Yeah.
And I do like learning. I like learning about all sorts of things.
Yeah.
I always struggle with when stuff gets towards the mathematical side. I do struggle.
Yeah.
I can grasp abstract concepts.
Yeah.
But when it comes to doing maths and formula and that, I that's not me. And it's not what I want to do, because even if I managed to do it, it would be so much work that I wouldn't enjoy it.
And see, this is the thing with me, and I think I said this in Friday's video, this is why I never pretend that I'm a science guy or a maths guy, because I'm not. And that's what I find so laughable about a lot of these flat earthers. They're acting as if they're, Stephen Hawking reincarnated. But they're not. So
J.M. Truth, who said he's better than Einstein.
And that's the thing. See, is when you create that sort of illusion in your own mind, the people watching you, they can see through you like a window. So why pretend?
But what amazes me is how many people don't see through them.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just gobsmacking.
Exactly. Anyway, JM Truth is a lovely segue into the next question. Are there any conspiracy theories that you either do believe in or have previously believed in and then found out that they're not? You know, they're not.
So. I'm quite a doubting Thomas.
Yeah,
because I've always been interested in sort of science from when I was a kid.
Yeah,
and want to understand. You know, if someone said something, I'll say, well, why or how?
Yeah.
You know, I really question. And actually, one of to the extent that when I was in my middle school, so I was about 10 years old.
Yeah.
And the headmaster was doing a bit of talk, and he was talking about space and that. And he was saying about our galaxy being 1,000 light years from side to side. And, excuse me, it's not. It's 100,000. No, he said, that's 1,000. But he came back to me the next day because he'd double checked, and he apologized to me because I was right. But so even back then, 10 years old, I was looking out and trying to learn about these things.
Yeah. So were you a good student? Did you enjoy learning when you were in school, or is that something that's happened in your adult life? Because I was a terrible student. Absolutely awful. I just used to mess about all the time. I was the class clown. And it's only now I'm an adult. If I went to school now, I would pay attention. I would enjoy learning. Yeah. But when I was a kid, I didn't want to be there at all. At all.
But my primary school, I can't really remember, but my middle school, absolutely loved. I had some amazing teachers.
Yeah.
A wonderful science teacher. I excelled. Yeah. And when I was in my middle school, I was at the top of the top. And at the time when I went onto my senior school, the school was still doing streaming and went to the top.
Yeah.
But then through my teens, I had some life problems and it screwed things up.
Yeah.
But there we go.
So, you know, when I went to Catholic school, and we spent a lot of our time dodging nuns, swinging rulers around, and I don't know, I'm not saying that was the reason I hated school, but I did. The only lesson I can honestly say I enjoyed in school was English and English literature, and that was because I liked the teacher.
Well, you like foreign languages, mate.
His name was Pickle. I'm not sure if that was his real name, but he was bald, so he was Pickle. And he was a sarcastic little swine. And I absolutely loved him. It was the only lesson in school that I've ever got any memory of enjoying. Everything he said was interesting because he used to talk to us, not at us.
Yeah.
And I think that makes a massive difference.
That was like that science teacher on middle school. It was just brilliant. If you asked him something that wasn't being covered in the lesson, he'd start talking to you about it because he had such an enthusiasm for it.
Yeah,
that it was infectious.
Yeah. And I think that makes a massive difference. You know, it's like I say, anybody who's highly educated can train and be a doctor. But I think there's a certain caliber of person who makes a really good doctor, somebody with empathy, somebody who cares about you. And then you've got the other type of doctors who are just, I'm very intelligent. I flew through all the exams. I did all the studying. I'm a doctor, but I can't give a rat's ass whether you live or die. And and I think it's the same with teachers.
Is that the Welsh National Health Service you're talking about?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. I think if you're of a certain level, intelligence-wise, you can be a doctor, you can be a teacher, you can be this, that, and the other. And then there's the other people then who make good doctors and nurses and teachers because they're people.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense at all. It made sense in my head, but that was prior to it coming out of my mouth. But I know exactly what I meant.
And Dave M has just said in the chat that the teachers do make a big difference. And what was it? The conspiracist said, I think conspiracy cats would be a cool teacher. And I think he's absolutely right.
I would imagine he is. Yeah. I would imagine he is. That's a really, really good example, actually. Yeah, he probably is a really, really good teacher. And I'm actually, just as an add-on to that, you can remember school.
Me?
Yeah. Because it must have been a very long time ago. Anyway, moving on. If you could switch lives with somebody for a day, who would it be?
That's a. Do you know? I would love to switch lives with someone like Donald Trump.
Yeah, somebody who's got a really interesting life.
Sorry?
Somebody who's got a really interesting life, whether it's for good or bad reasons.
To be honest, it's more the power, because I would do something like give the go-ahead for certain NASA missions. And I would find out what is in Area 51. I think that would be one of the first things I'd do.
The next question is purely based on the fact that I'm a nosy get. What do you do when you're not making videos? What's your job? And
right, yeah, I literally can't talk about my job.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
You'd have to kill me?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, there's a clue there somewhere. Fair enough. No, I won't push the issue, obviously.
No,
but
that's fine. And I don't mind people asking. A lot of people ask. Unfortunately, I literally can't.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. So when you're not making YouTube videos and not doing your job, what does Mr. Sensible do?
Well, there is a Mrs. Sensible and 3 little sensibles.
Right.
The eldest of which is getting married next Saturday.
My middle boy is getting married on February the 28th, and my oldest boy is due. His wife is due to give birth on February the 18th, I believe it is. So February's a busy month for us as well.
To point out then that you're going to be a granddad before me.
I am. I'm going to be Grandpa Creaky. I'm still trying to come up with a really cool granddad name, but I can't settle on one.
Well, I think you should give us the choices and let people vote on it.
Yeah. Maybe I'll put a poll in the community tab, and my subscribers can decide.
But no, I mean, outside of work, I spend, I'll be honest, the vast majority of my free time doing this. I really do. Yeah. I am someone who's always had hobbies. I've kept fish all my life, and I've got a nice big marine aquarium. Yeah, and that was a massive project with loads of research to design it.
Yeah.
I also done some. I've got a classic car that I rebuilt.
Have you? What is that?
Without knowing anything about building cars.
What is it?
It's a Land Rover.
Yeah.
1972 Land Rover.
Oh, so a 47-year-old Land Rover.
And it's my daily driver.
You should lovingly call it Creaky, because I was born in 1972. And I bet it is creaky being a 47-year-old Land Rover.
Yeah, well, the Land Rover was knackered and needed a rebuild. Do you?
Yeah, I pretty much do, yeah. Yeah, I asked for that, really, didn't I?
But, yeah, is that... I always like woodwork. I do DIY. Do a little bit of electrics, mate.
You do? And advise people who don't do a little bit of electrics on doing a little bit of electrics. Successfully.
Yeah, you're still alive.
I'm still alive, yeah. And I now have an extra outlet in my kitchen, all thanks to Mr. Sensible.
Well, you can't do without an extra outlet, can you?
Oh God, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Right. What's the weirdest thing a subscriber or a fan or whatever, different people choose to call them different things. I'm not comfortable with calling my viewers fans, but some people do. What's the weirdest thing you've ever been asked by a subscriber or had a subscriber do to you or for you? To you is a bit of a stretch, but for you, really, I think is quite a reasonable question. Weirdest thing?
Well, I've not met any. I'd have to honestly, none of them have been weird. I've got a really, really nice bunch. I mean, incredibly nice bunch of viewers, subs, and patrons. There's one person I'm thinking of in particular, but I've gradually got quite close to them.
Yeah.
We're spending quite a bit of time chatting. They've done me a favour. I've done them a favour, and. Yeah, but nothing weird, thank goodness.
Yeah. I'm starting to get a bit uncomfortable with that question because Dan gave a similar answer last week.
So it's only you?
Yeah, I'm beginning to wonder if it is only me, but there we are. We shall move on swiftly.
Okay. Swiftly, yeah.
So we touched on earlier on sort of how long it takes to make the videos and everything. So, what's your process? You know, you start off, you find a video. Where do you go from there? How do you make a Mr. Sensible video?
Well, I think I've actually got two routes depending on the video and depending on the time I've got. If it's a fairly straightforward one, I did one from that Mr. Truth guy. What I will actually do is literally play the video, screen capture it straight into OBS, and I'll be on cam on OBS as well, as though I'm live streaming, and I will pause it and off the cuff comment, and then let the video go and pause it and off the cuff comment. And when I say off the cuff, I've watched it maybe twice before, so I've got a good idea. But nothing is scripted. So that's one way. I don't do too many of those. It's the odd one. My more normal way is to watch it quite a few times. And if there's any obvious points, I think, do you know what, I've got to say something about that, I'll actually just snip the video there and then carry on. And so when I'm ready to go, I've got however many snips, some pre-prepared points that I'm going to make. But then I'll watch a segment, 30 seconds or whatever, and think about it and perhaps play it a couple times and think, is this something that I can comment on? Is this something I can say something funny on? Or is this a little bit of the video I just need to snip out? And then I think, right, I'm going to make that comment. And then I'll stop there and I'll record whatever my comment is. And I'll record it and I think, do you know what, that was crap. I'll do it again. And I'll do it a couple times. And then unless I'm sure, that number 3, that was the take. I'll watch them, all those little clips I filmed, and then choose which one. And then I'll literally slot it into the video. And then I'll leave it there rough cut, so it will still need tidying and trimming and balancing or whatever. But it's basically there. And I'll just do that and follow my way all the way through the video to the end. Then I'll go back and snip out all the little silences you get at the start and end of recordings and so on, and do tidy up. And that's about it. So an ordinary video, sort of, I don't know, say a flirt video at 5 or 6 minutes, I can probably get it pretty good within a couple of hours, and then I'll save it for an evening to do the final tidying, because I can do it quietly with headphones on, even if someone else is in the room. You know?
So from beginning to end, how long would you estimate it takes you to make one video that you would upload to your channel?
From very beginning, including research.
Everything. You've decided, right, I want to make a video. You start off by looking for something, and then you find it, you go through your process, and it's rendered and uploaded to Facebook. To YouTube, ready to go. How long does that process take you?
Well, I won't include the searching because that's so variable, because sometimes they're just suggested and they're good to go. And another time I literally spent a whole day and I did not find a single video from a whole day, a single video that I felt I could do something with. But normally, okay, if I found a video, it can vary. I think the shortest time to actually film the video is one of those OBS style ones, and that's filmed and basically in the bag, ready for tidying in an hour.
Really?
But that is not the norm. At the other end of the scale, something like that Sleeping Warrior one with the vacuum chambers and all the research, that was probably because I did a bit of research and then I went to work and in my lunch hour I did a bit more research. But all in all, that was probably about 2 days' work. But it was worth it because I was so right and I wanted to get every I dotted and every T crossed, you know? So that's the other extreme. More normal, I think about 5-6 hours. That would be my norm. I can do two in a day. That would be a good day.
See, because I'm starting to think that maybe I've made a rod for my own back because my videos take so long. It's like you've seen plenty of my videos, so I always start off with like a 30-second, I suppose you could call it a skit. Just that will generally take me 3 or 4 hours.
But is that all the tidying and editing, or is it just
I do that as I go. I don't do it in stages. I could literally stop at any point during my video, export it and upload it. It would be short, but it would be a
Yes.
complete video because I do it all as I go along, which I suppose is what extends my workflow and makes it take me that much longer. But
maybe you should try it differently. Just do the whole filming and then go back and do your editing.
see, I can't do it like that because I don't watch the videos I'm commenting on either. I watch, if it's a 10-minute video, I watch the first minute of it.
Yeah.
If I see something stupid in that first minute or something that makes me laugh, I dump it into Filmora and I start playing
I
it.
do it all in Filmora. I
Yeah.
put their video into Filmora
Yeah.
and just start watching it.
Yeah.
And then stop, snip it.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do, except I do all the tidy up as I go.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Why don't you try doing it and then tidy up afterwards?
Yeah, I might do actually, see if it
Just as an
speeds it up a
experiment.
bit.
You know, some sort of scientific experiment, Creaky.
Yeah, yeah. I've always wanted to do an experiment.
Well, there you go.
Peeing on a cat isn't an option, but because I haven't got a cat. But yeah, I might do actually. I might do. Who would you like? Who would you most like to collaborate with?
I've got a couple names. I've already spoken to you about doing a collab, which
Yeah, right answer.
Yeah. But also I've spoken with Bob the Science Guy, and he's up for a collab, and Conspiracy Cats. But with Conspiracy Cats, I think he's got caught up in other things, and now I am.
Yeah.
And the same with regard to Bob. We've got all this happening here. I just met the in-laws from America.
Yeah.
The first time tonight. They're up there. We just had a smashing roast that Mrs. Sensible cooked, and I said, excuse me, I've got to go off. I'm on YouTube.
Oh, is it?
But some things are more important.
Exactly. Have you ever
Can't let
been?
me old dad down.
No, exactly. Have you ever been recognised by anybody when you've been out and about?
No, not
No,
yet.
neither have I.
But what would you
Thank
do
goodness.
when you are?
I know, because I bet it would be really awkward. Because I don't know, obviously, I only know you as Mr. Sensible on YouTube, so I don't know if this is what you're like. You don't know if this is what I'm like, but I'd like to think that in this scenario where we're live and just chatting with each other, this is kind of who we are. Because I know the way I am in videos is massively... Anybody who knows you will tell you that I am actually like that, right? Really,
And I think
really childish. But I think it's an over-exaggerated version of what I'm actually like.
Yeah, no, I think I'm like me on video as well.
Yeah.
Because anything else would be really difficult to pull off.
Yeah,
It would really
yeah,
would. It'd be a lot
yeah.
of work.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got the sense of humour I've got, and hopefully, and so far it seems to be, other people find it funny.
Yeah.
You know, if they didn't, I couldn't just write comedy.
No,
me.
exactly. And I think that's why when the videos are made off the cuff, I think they're more effective because it's a more genuine reaction to what's just been said.
Yes.
I think myself, anyway. I could be wrong, as difficult as that may be to believe, but you know, I think if the way we all make videos, I think that's what people enjoy about them, is the fact that we're actually reacting to something that is completely ridiculous, and because of the process, it seems like a more genuine reaction. We're not actors.
No, definitely not. I wouldn't be. I try to be me. The only thing is, in real life, I swear as much as the next person, perhaps more.
Yeah.
But I don't tend to on my channel.
Yeah, the same as me. I consciously decided when I started doing this that I wasn't going to swear in my videos, and you know, the main reason for that was because I knew my kids would see it, and I've never sworn in front of my kids. I still don't. And my oldest boy's nearly 28. And I've never sworn in front of my children, so that was part of what made me not want to swear in my videos, because I don't swear when I'm in the house. You know, in a work environment, I think it's different. Of course I'll swear, but day to day I'm not dropping the F-bomb every other sentence, or I just don't. I don't know why. I just don't.
Work-wise, I probably am swearing left, right, and centre due to the environment I work in, and I suppose I swear at a sort of an ordinary sort of level at home. But no, I mean, I want to argue the case. I want people to enjoy it. I don't want anyone to think, oh my goodness, I'm offended by just language. They might be offended by my views, but that's, can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do anything about that.
No, exactly.
But
exactly.
On the other hand, there are some channels that swear a lot. There's one. If you don't mind, I'll give him a quick shill out.
Yeah.
Jut Monk, the drunk monkey. He is nothing but swearing of the crudest sort. And I find it so funny. There's no way he's ever going to get monetized. But what a brilliant channel. I really like it.
I think some people can get away with it more than other people. I think if I suddenly started swearing in my videos now, and I dare say the same goes for you, it would be weird.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people would comment on why... I've suddenly turned into a potty mouth.
Potty mouth. But probably there'll be some people that think, yes, get in there.
Yeah,
Creaky. That's what we like to hear. Yeah. But then others will say, no, I don't want to listen to that, and they'll walk away.
Yeah. The thing is, what I find is the majority of the time, I'll swear if something makes me angry. Yeah. And on that note, have any of the videos you've ever made actually made you angry to the point where you've really been spitting feathers?
Well, I think that the angriest one was that one about Roberts or Thompson with a book for children. And my videos at the end, I just do a quick, well, I hope you all enjoyed that. Look forward to seeing you again next time. And I roll my titles. On that one, I just said, all I've got to say is this. And I just walked off camera and left the empty chair.
Yeah.
That was it. That was as angry as I've ever got.
Because again, I said this to Dan last Sunday. I think if it's continuously making you angry, I think that would take some of the joy out of making the videos as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree, but I certainly think that if it's getting on your nerves and really winding you up and upsetting you, I think that's not a good thing, and I think it would spoil the whole process and enjoyment of being a YouTuber.
Yeah, I think you're right. If you're not enjoying it, what's the point? If it's making you that angry, then walk away.
Yeah.
I mean, it annoys me that people like Oakley are earning a coin off the backs of gullible people.
Yeah.
But that's as far as it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's a despicable person.
Yeah.
But where I get my pleasure is knowing that he is wrong in what he's saying.
Yeah.
Whether he knows it or not, he is wrong, and I can show it.
Yeah. But the thing is, I think that's more of an annoyance than something that would cause anger, isn't it? It certainly is for me anyway. Yeah. It's annoying that they're so willfully ignorant, misinformed. They're spewing out this ridiculous narrative that we all know is complete and utter tosh, but I would say it doesn't make me angry. It's just an annoyance. That's how I would classify it myself.
Well, let's face it, if there weren't people like that, we wouldn't have people to debunk.
Yeah, exactly. And this is why, if somebody wants to believe in flat Earth, fine, believe in it. Just make sure you upload it to YouTube so I can then download it and make a video about it. Simple as that. But I will be honest, the reason Friday's video was about 5G is because I looked at a couple of flat Earth videos and it was like, they're just saying exactly the same thing as every other person I've made a video about, and nothing stood out, so it was like, I'll just make a video on something else, have a week off flat Earth kind of thing. But the last time I did that, I ended up having 3 months off flat Earth, and it didn't hurt the channel, but for some bizarre reason which I can't explain, I actually started missing it, and that's why I went back into doing a flat Earth video every Friday.
Well, I know that you do sort of regular slots, like what's his name does his Tinfoil Tuesdays. Simon Dan. I thought that was a good idea, but I always end up, I'll do this video, or I'll say, do you know what I mean? And so I've worked like that, so I've not got a regular slot.
Yeah.
But I have done a few other things. I did one on this guy who thinks that LED street lamps are out to kill us. And what's the so he in fact he was talking about 5G as well. And in real life he's got arrested for causing problems with the council, so he genuinely believes this rubbish. I've done a couple of young earth creationist ones, a couple of sort of more biblical ones about Noah's Ark, and things like that. I like mixing it up, but I'm always cautious about doing too much, because I'm really aware that most of my viewers have come to know me through Flat Earth. I hope to encourage them to look at some of these other things. But I don't want to drive them away and sort of say, no, I'm not doing Flat Earth. It's this now.
And I always feel exactly the same way. You know, sometimes I kind of feel guilty if I haven't made a Flat Earth video, because I'm very mindful of the fact that the bulk of the people that subscribe to me to watch anti-Flat Earth videos. So if I stop doing them altogether, what's to keep them here? Do you know what I mean? It's
I know exactly what you mean.
It's a funny one. So, do you ever watch your own videos?
All the time.
Yeah? Same as me.
Yeah, well, when I say I watch them, obviously I'm watching them as I'm editing to see how good they are, but at the end, I watch to make sure it rendered okay. Once it's uploaded, I watch to make sure that nothing's gone wrong, because it does from time to time. And then, because I'm going through the comments, if there's a lot of comments there, once I've gone to the videos page, I'll just leave it running, and I think, well, it's 3/4 played, I'll just let it finish, or I'll just watch the end. But then you've also got your little favourite bits that you like to see, whether it's a favourite little edit or joke. I'm
because what I pretty much do exactly the same thing. Obviously, we're seeing it during the manufacturing of the video. And then I always watch it after I export it from Filmora to make sure that it is exported properly. I'll upload it, and then I'll watch it through on YouTube, so that I'm watching it as a viewer would watch it. And like you quite rightly say, to make sure nothing went Pete Tong. Sending it up the old interwebs to YouTube. So
and that's when you realise, oh my goodness, I haven't put the end cards on, or the links to other channels.
Which I used to be notoriously bad at remembering to do. And well, I say used to. I should have said I am notoriously bad at forgetting to do that. So have you ever?
Where Asperger's comes in, and I'm very, very meticulous, and I will follow a set pattern of steps that I go through. But I still make mistakes.
No, I know, it's easily done though, isn't it? So have you ever looked back on any of your older videos to kind of see
how crap they were?
See the difference between back then and how you are now?
Recently, because I've got this period now, because as I said, my daughter's getting married next weekend, we got family coming over, so there's a lot going on, and then I'm hoping that next week me and Mrs. Sense will have a few days away. It'd be really hard to fill the slots that I tend to use, which is 5 a week. And one of the ideas I had was of re-uploading, in effect, 1 or 2 of the old ones. I decided against it, but I did dip in and have a look at them, and it's quite amazing to see how things move on. I mean, it's the technical things, like now I have a decent mic, so, but also how comfortable I feel now. I felt comfortable at the time, but I feel more comfortable now.
It's weird with me, right? Because I found
you used to have hair.
Yeah, I did. I can just about remember it, but I'm growing it back down here now because I've got to have hair somewhere.
Yeah, well, I thought your head's on upside down, mate.
It is. So what I found is when I had, we'll say, less than 100 subscribers, I used to feel really awkward sitting there talking to the camera, and then because it was always in the back of my mind that nobody's going to see this anyway. Maybe my wife will watch it, and maybe my kids will see it, and some people that know me. But what I found is the bigger my audience has got, the more confidence it's given me, because when I'm making the video, I feel as if I'm speaking to a lot of people rather than just speaking to a a plastic box with a lens on it.
Yeah. Well, no, I understand that.
Which would sound the opposite of what it should be. But it's just made me feel a bit more confident knowing that there's going to be people watching it.
I tend to start my videos with a welcome set. Make yourself at home, grab a seat, something like that. And to me, it sort of puts into my mind. That's what I'm doing. I'm talking to a dozen people, 20 people crammed into this room. That's all.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking to thousands when I'm sat here talking. How many have we got now? 162 people. Now, if you sat on a stage in front of 162 people, that will feel very different.
Was just going to say exactly the same thing. So I had literally just looked at the viewer numbers. 160 it shows on my screen, but whatever. It would be a completely different ball game if we were sat on a stage in a hall now with these 160 people staring up at us, listening. It would be completely different. You're protected by your isolation, if you like.
But I agree that would feel different, and it would feel weird if we both sat there on chairs, just chatting to each other in front of those people who are listening to us. But I've done sort of a pantomime in the village, and each night we've had sort of over 100 people, and I've been the dame. I can't sing, but I've been singing. And I absolutely loved it. And yet, in a work situation, when maybe do, maybe don't, where they sort of say, "Oh, we'd like you to do a bit of role play as part of this training," and there's 6 of you there. I can't do it.
It's the most cringy, uncomfortable thing in the world. Like I said, I don't know if you've ever heard me saying this before, but I was a sales rep for Britvic soft drinks, so PepsiCo for 10 years. And we used to have team meetings every single month, and there was always role play. I got used to it in the end, and I just used to act like a div, and I know it probably wasn't the object of the exercise, but for me, the more people laughed, the better a job I felt I was doing. But it is such an uncomfortable thing to do. It's like a group job interview scenario when they say, "Stand up and introduce yourself." It's like, oh God, I have to? I don't want to do that. I just give me the job or don't give me the job. Don't make me look like a dick in front of all these people. Yeah. Well, no more of a dick than I look anyway.
I mean, all they're going to do is get people that like doing that sort of thing, and yet there's so many people who either are just uncomfortable to it or can't do those things or can't do an interview. I'm crap at interviews. And so I know I can do these various jobs. And they don't see it. So
I thought I was good at interviewing people, but judging by some of the comments I got on last week's podcast, I'm not quite so sure now. But anyway,
I do very well. It feels to me as though it's flowing nicely.
Yeah, and this is what I wanted. I just wanted it to be a chat.
Yeah,
every time somebody sees me drinking out of this bottle, they tell me that Evian spelled backwards is naive. The only reason I bought it is because it was on special offer, buy one, have one free, and there's not water in it anyway. There's lemon water, so meh. Anyway, so I don't know how many people who know you know that you're a YouTuber, but do you find it really uncomfortable if somebody asks you,
No.
How do you make? Because the thing is with me, people. How can you make money on YouTube? People don't understand it unless they're involved in it, and I just find it. How do you explain it? If I made videos how to sign write a van, that's very simple. Yeah, I make tutorial videos teaching people how to sign write vehicles. But to explain what we do isn't quite as straightforward as that, and I just find it a horrible question to get asked.
Well, I had to tell someone at my work about it because, in effect, I'm earning a small but another income outside of work, and as part of my work, I have to declare that.
Yeah.
And so the first question they ask is, right, so what do you do?
Yeah.
So straight away, I'm talking to management at my employment place and telling them what I do.
Yeah.
That felt a little odd.
It's bizarre. It's awkward, I find it, because...
But then someone else, you see, said, oh, I'm... what was it they were after? They were wanting to do something on YouTube, or they had a friend... That was it. They had a friend who's doing music and wants to get some more exposure. And they were talking to someone else and saying, about this. And they said, oh, you should talk to John. He's got a YouTube channel. And I thought, blimey, this has gone flying around. No one's taken the mickey. Yeah. But this guy came up to me and just said, John, you... I just realised I doxed my name there, didn't I?
You did.
It's out there. I'm John.
You could, that's absolutely hysterical, because my dad's name is John.
No, I'm not your dad.
Daddy, is that you?
Well, I've done that now, so there we go. Hey, I'm out of the closet.
I dare say there are people that know my name.
Yeah.
There may be or there may not be. Does anybody in the side chat know my real name? If you do, type it in the side chat now. I don't care anymore, but anyway,
he came up to me and asked, and I told him what I did. Oh, he said, really? I said, yeah. Here's my channel name. A few days later, I saw him again, and he said, oh, I saw some of your videos. I really enjoyed them. Brilliant.
Yeah. I just find it difficult to explain. Yeah. And that's my issue with it, because it doesn't make much sense unless you're aware, especially if that person isn't aware of Flat Earth at all.
Yeah, they're all laughing at my name in chat, although someone said, or is it? It could be a cunning ploy.
They're all saying, hi, John. Yes. John Sensible. I always thought your first name was Captain myself, but there we are. What Captain. Do I know?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good,
and it's funny because the next question is, what's the one thing you think is important for people to know or not know about you?
Well, I believe in keeping all my Oh. I've blown that one.
You have.
But just going back a bit, what is more interesting is Mrs. Sensible is not keen on other people knowing. Now she enjoys my videos.
Yeah.
She can understand what I'm doing, but she doesn't want her friends to know, which is a bit weird.
Yeah.
There we go.
So that would kind of imply that maybe she finds you a bit embarrassing. Because I know Mrs. Blinder finds me embarrassing. Absolutely 100%.
But I must admit, my youngest kid, I keep teasing. She's nearly 18, and I keep teasing her, saying, "Yeah, well, now I'm a social media influencer." Oh, Dad, you can't say that, Dad. You can't.
Yeah, you and I are technically what's known as boomers. That's what the cool kids would call us.
Yeah, well, but she's had to admit, well, actually, you have got a lot of subs. So
yeah. I just think this, people knowing certain things, not knowing things, I think it's just how much you value your privacy, though. It's...
For me, I'm actually not too bothered about it. As I said, with regard to my work, I need to keep them very, very separate.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason.
Yeah.
And what I tell people is I'm married. I've got 3 girls. I live somewhere in the middle of the UK.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
And the name is Derek.
Yeah. Like for the longest time, I didn't show anyone that I would assume that everyone in the side chat knows that I'm from Swansea, but for the longest time I didn't even want to say where I was from, and I don't really know why. I just wasn't comfortable with putting it out there, because I think you've got to have a certain degree of separation between an online persona and me nipping down to Tesco's to buy a loaf of bread. Do you know what I mean? I think you need to.
Fantastic when I can say to Mrs. Sensible, look, sorry, I can't nip to Tesco's because I'm going to get absolutely swamped with all these fans.
Yeah, when people go full on fanboy on you.
Yeah.
So
sorry.
Yeah. So no, sorry, mate. So like obviously we make videos about flat Earth, and we kind of touched on this earlier, but. Do you think some of these people, like the bigger ones, I mean now, like Nathan Oakley, Anthony Riley, Bob Nodell, do you think they really do think the Earth is flat, or have they just gotten themselves to that point? You know what I mean is, you tell a little white lie and it escalates, and then you're at the point where you know that really you should come clean, but you just can't because you're too far invested into it. You're too deep into the rabbit hole.
You're earning too much from it.
Yeah. There's that as well. Do you really think there's anyone who genuinely thinks the Earth is flat?
I think Nathan Oakley absolutely does not believe it. And I believe he's been shown with screen captured from Discords or whatever. Or side chats where he said things. So I absolutely do not think so. I think for him, it is purely a money-making venture. Screw him for everything he can while he can. Yeah. I actually think Riley, though, is a little bit different.
Yeah.
I know he's done some stupid things, but I think in some ways he's not that stupid. Yeah. I think he's mistaken and makes mistakes. Probably. I could not imagine sitting down for a pint with Oakley. I could imagine sitting down and having a pint and a chat with Riley.
Yeah, because what I find with Anthony Riley is he's very articulate.
Yes.
And I think that's why so many people buy into what he's saying, because he sounds so sincere and so convincing when he says it. Unless you're in a position to know that what he's saying is complete and utter shit, I think it will be very easy to fall into his trap because he is a very articulate bloke.
Yeah, and he sort of blew it when he does things like his experiments.
Yeah, exactly.
When he's just talking, he does.
Yeah, but I think by then, his minions are so far into what he's saying that they'll brush that to one side. And do you know what I mean?
I do know exactly what you mean, and actually, it's one thing that's worrying me is with so many of them going off of YouTube and onto BitChute. I don't know if you've ever looked at BitChute.
Yeah, I'm aware of it.
It's horrific.
Yeah,
it's all crazy conspiracy theories.
Yeah, it's basically no holds barred, isn't it? There's no policing of it. You can literally put whatever you want.
Yeah. So if it's anyone who is a decent person, like that guy that Conspiracy Cats has actually converted away from flat Earth. If it's anyone like that who genuinely doesn't know, but is genuinely open-minded, if they go on to BitChute, they are lost forever. Yeah. There's just no way they'll hear anything sensible on there. Yeah,
I know. And places like that are or should be of concern because it's unmonitored and you can literally say anything at all and there's nobody to tell you can't.
And there'll be plenty of people who are ready to agree with you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So if YouTube stopped monetizing content, full stop, if there was no possible way you could make any income from doing this, would you carry on doing it, do you think?
I would probably do some, but I just couldn't do what I'm doing now.
Yeah,
I really couldn't.
Yeah, it's because of the time involved, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Because I was thinking about this today, and I have done it once before, but I'm very tempted to make a video showing exactly what I earn from my channel on a month.
Okay.
Because, one, I believe in being as transparent as I can be, and two, I think people will be surprised just how little it is. Because... you know what you were earning, and I'm not asking you to reveal it. You know, definitely not. But it isn't a lot of money, is it?
It's not I can quit my job. No,
exactly. It's
no.
nice
That's the words I would use. It's nice.
Yeah,
it's a nice little side earner.
yeah, exactly. It's a secondary income, a small one, but it's most definitely not enough to be able to not do anything else and just do this.
Well, you know why, Creaky? These guys in here, they've given you a couple of super chats, but not enough.
Yeah, I know. Everyone's being tight tonight. It must be you. It must be you. Anyway, what we're going to do next, Dad, I mean Mr. Sensible, we're going to take some questions from the side chat for you.
Okay.
So is there anything you want to plug that you've got coming up on your channel while the lovely people of the side chat compose their questions for you?
Well, this next... it's actually, I'm looking at, I've got a big whiteboard here and I've planned everything out. This next 3 weeks is when I've got this busy time. I'm going to be doing a few videos where I can, and I'm going to try and do one of my live streams each week because I absolutely love that. But what I also have is I put a shout out for creators to create videos as a full episode to be shown on my channel, because that fills one of my 5 slots. So it keeps something of interest on my channel over that period. It gives a chance for all the viewers to see another creator that they may not have seen. And in fact, that will definitely be the case, because I've had a couple of submissions from people who have never made a video before, which is really interesting. And of course, it's a chance. I mean, it's funny. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how long you've been going, Creaky, but I know that you were going for your 10,000. You whizzed up to 17.5 now. I see. But when I look where I am now and where I was 6 months ago, I never would have believed it. But now there's other channels that are coming on that have a lot less subs. So it's a chance for them to get exposed to a bigger audience and sort of share the love like some people did for me. And hopefully they'll get some views from people who perhaps wouldn't have found them or wouldn't have tried them. So what I would ask is, if you are going to watch my channel, over the next 3 weeks, I've got at least 7 channel takeovers taking place with different creators. So have a look, give them a chance. Some of these, well, some of them are older channels than me, but they're for the most part, they're smaller channels. Give them a chance and have a look at something different. That's what I say. I'm shilling out for some other people. Yeah, but and if you want to subscribe to me at the same time,
the link to your channel is in the video description. Well, when it becomes a video, I know it's live at the minute, but it is down there. So that it's interesting you say that, because that's part of my thought process behind this as well. Is to try and use. I don't want to call it luck, because I work hard doing this, but I have had. You know, I'd have to be an idiot to pretend that doing a guest video for Simon Dan didn't help massively, because it did. It took me from, I was on 9,800, and within a week I was up to 12,000.
Yeah.
But everybody is now attributing the rest of my growth to that as well, and that really isn't the case. I dare say I've still got.
Don't want to upset you.
I've still got some people coming across from that, but you know, I'm gaining about 100 subs a day, and that video on Dan's channel now is way back in the archive. So do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's my thought process on this is, you know, if I can tell everybody here now to go and subscribe to you that doesn't know you. You know, if you pick up another 100 or 200 subscribers, then I feel like I'm paying it forward. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, because when I started, there's a couple of channels who mirrored me. There were some people who it was the group of people, you know, the shills basically. Yeah. They sort of took me under their wing, got me. I'd never even heard of Discord before, but told me about Discord, helped me when I screwed up with that. Got me on the Shield show a couple times, and that really helped me. So I mean, I seen in the chat earlier on, there's a guy now Pinion, and he'd commented on some of my videos. I'd had a look at his channel, found a great little Christmas music, Christmas song, Flat Earth Christmas song video he did. Yeah. So I, with his permission, mirrored that, and he got a bunch of subs. Like you said, it's paying it forward.
And see, I think that's what sets our community apart from the Flat Earth community as well.
Yeah, because if this was
There's no
Flat Earth
infight
community,
in here.
No, I'd be stabbing you in the back and telling people to abandon you and come to me.
Yeah, exactly. You know, anything can. The perfect example. Any electricians in my server, and there you were, and you were able to help me out with something completely unrelated to YouTube, but you were willing and able to help me sort out an issue I was having in the house. You know, and people have asked me, you know, every so often, Fight the Flat Earth was it, you couldn't do me a favour, I'm stuck with a thumbnail, and yeah, I'll make you a thumbnail, but do you know what I mean? And I can't imagine any of that sort of thing going on in the Flat Earth community. They all just seem to want to stab each other in the back.
Yeah. Well, look how often they've had a big falling out. I know
exactly.
There are fallings out.
Oh, of course, it's human nature, isn't it? Nobody can agree on everything all the time, you know, and that's why I just tend to distance myself. Not that there ever is any drama in our community, but if there ever is anything that's getting a little bit naughty, I just tend to completely stay out of it because...
Well, I'm a little different in that I tend not to even notice it, and then I'll say to someone, "Why isn't so and so speaking to?" Oh, well, there's been oh, is there?
Yeah, so you don't even notice it. That's how little attention you pay to it then.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a couple of questions come in from the side chat. Tusk asks his normal question, which is, do any of us know how to set a 3 a.m. alarm on Alexa?
Alexa, set alarm 3 a.m. every day.
Forever.
Alexa, say Creaky blinder, carrots, 100 in Welsh.
Colon is asking, how come I taught my son to shave but never bothered to learn myself? As I said earlier, Colon, I require hair at least somewhere in the area above my neck, so my chin will just have to do.
Actually, sorry to interrupt, Creaky. Can I just say, Colon is an absolute megastar. He is my main moderator. Every time I do a live stream, he's there. He's my main backroom boy, getting people organised, and I really, really appreciate that. So I just want to say thank you here and now, Colon.
Yeah, I think that moderators are the unsung heroes of this community because I have barely even glanced at the side chat tonight because it's more difficult to do in this sort of format.
Yeah.
But I know that I've got people in there looking out for me to make sure that everyone is behaving and, you know, behaving appropriately. So, you know, I think that anyone who doesn't show gratitude to their moderators is a bit naughty. Yeah, because gratitude doesnn cost you anything.
And it is really appreciated, I tell you.
Exactly. Tam Hewitt Baker asks me, is there anything I used to believe in that I now find absurd? There is, actually. Father Christmas. Next question, please. Bo Nielsen asks, have I read his 18 chapters of erotic fiction yet? No, I've not. You'll have to email it to me again. Gary Graham says it's not a question, but okay. But ask Mr. Sensible about his glass. What about your glass, Mr. Sensible?
Sorry, who is this?
From Gary Graham.
Oh, Gary, I've got his glass. Give me 2 seconds.
Because I have one on the way. And yes, thank you very much indeed, Gary. And I must confess, I am rather excited to find out what you came up with as far as plugs go. That's cool.
I don't know how long I have to hold this up before it comes on stream, but
yeah, I can see it. That's very cool.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
He's given these glasses or tumblers to various creators. Free of charge, didn't even want the postage, which is absolutely amazing. At some point, I'm intending on putting up some sort of shelf, but I don't have a lot of space back here, and that's ready to go there. I haven't forgotten it, Gary.
Now Opinion is asking Mr. Sensible, how can he learn to use Discord properly? Which university do you have to go to?
Discord University. I don't know how to use Discord properly. I just use it at the basic level. I set up the rooms, set up permissions, reset up permissions because I realise I've got them all wrong, and that's about it. I know that there's an awful lot more you can do with it, but I've got to be honest, I'm not that interested in doing that. I'm interested in doing the YouTube. The Discord's just a brilliant way for people to meet as a community.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I did it as well. I don't spend a hell of a lot of time in there, but I periodically jump in and out, and it's always nice to see people having a conversation, and it's usually about the most random thing.
Yeah.
But it's just nice that we're part of a community rather than just making videos and hoping people watch them.
Well, it helps, I mean, every time I do a video, I know it pops up on your Discord.
Yeah.
And when you do one, it pops up on my Discord.
Yeah.
So we're all helping each other.
And this is what I mean. This is what I mean. Wobbly Nostrils is asking if either you or I would ever do a video on creationism.
I have.
I haven't.
Oh.
And I would.
So you won't?
No, I would, and I will.
Oh, you would?
I'll have to add it to my list.
I didn't understand your accent there.
What? Accent? Has something gone wrong with my mic? Hello? Testing 1, 2, 3. Wobbly Nostrils. I like your name. If you've got a video that you think I would benefit from seeing, email it to me, thecreakyblinder@gmail.com. The girl that likes roses asks me, which space capsule would I choose to fly to Elon Musk's Starship or CST Starlink? I don't even like flying on aeroplanes. There is no amount of money in the world that would get me to fly into space.
Really?
Yeah, I'm terrified of flying. Oh. Whenever we go on holiday, I have to take Valium just to fly.
Oh, man.
Absolutely terrified.
I'm scared of heights. I don't like the takeoff, don't like the landing. I like it when we're up there, but... I mean, I said to Mrs. Sensible, we were talking about it one time, would I go into space? And I said, yeah. She said, but, there's a good chance you could end up dead. And I said, do you know what? I would actually take that chance for the experience.
See, I'm not afraid of heights. I'm afraid of the ground, because it's not the height that kills you, it's the ground that kills you.
And then you really are flat.
Oh, God, yeah. As a pancake.
Yeah.
Techblog says he found my channel from Simon Dan. Awesome, thank you, Techblog. Irish Dublin, has any flurf said why there is no picture of the Earth as a flat plane?
Not that I've heard.
Not that I've heard of. Not that I've heard of. It's just.
Well, how would you take a picture if you can't go into space?
Yeah. Well, according to Jesse Johnson in last Friday's video, if the Earth was flat, you wouldn't even have to look down to see it. And I still can't understand what he meant, and that was a week ago, but there we are. Neil the 604 Atheist says, I've earned every sub. Thank you, mate. That's very kind of you.
Yeah, and I don't want that to sound like I was belittling it. It's just that I knew that you were.
Yeah, no. I didn't think that for a second. All I'm saying is I've had people say to me previously, "Oh, you're only on 17,000 now because you were on Simon Dan's."
Well,
of course, it helped.
Of course, it did, and it might, even if it was true that those 17,000 only came to look at your channel because of Simon Dan. They've stayed. The
thing is, as well, say for argument's sake now. It could be me, it could be you, it could be any other creator. Let's say, for argument's sake, now you were invited on a channel with 10 million subscribers.
Yeah.
Right? You did a guest video or you collaborated in a video on a huge channel, and then within a week you were over 1 million subscribers. Would you be any less deserving of those subscribers? Because the thing is, I was in that Simon Dan video. I did the video for Simon Dan, and I know that I picked up all those subscribers from being on that video. But I actually only picked up 2% of the people that watched that video. So there were 98% of people who watched me that didn't like me. Only 2% liked me enough to come over and subscribe, so...
And actually, Creaky, that is really good figures, because the estimate you work on is about 1%. So you've done double the expectation.
Yeah, it was 2%. It was 2%.
Yeah, that's really good.
I think it was anyway, but I ran out of fingers and toes.
They'll only come and subscribe if they like what they saw.
Yeah,
on
exactly.
Channel,
exactly.
And they won't stay subscribed if once say you're over here, they find that was a one-off and they really don't like you.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter how big the channel that hosted you was. If they don't like what you were doing or saying, they're not going to subscribe anyway.
Yeah.
they're not going to subscribe anyway.
So if I went on that channel with 10 million and I picked up 1 million, I would think I deserve those million, but I was very lucky to get those million.
Exactly, and that's the difference. That's the difference, see? Paul Donnelly is asking, is it a case of when you hit a certain mass of subs and then the channel starts to grow faster from that point? I don't really know, because it's funny because there are so many, dare I say, conspiracies surrounding how the YouTube algorithm works. Nobody really knows. Now, some people will say that once you hit 10k, you get a boost. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. Maybe that's why I've gone from 10k to 17.5 in about 8 weeks. But my subscriber growth has sped up, but I would like to think that it's because my subscriber base has increased. More people are seeing the video. The more people that see the video, the higher the likelihood is of the algorithm presenting it to people that may like it, and then some of them subscribe because they like what they see. I don't really know. I don't really know. I think it's kind of one of the myths around flat Earth.
But I mean,
flat Earth, YouTube.
The more videos you've put out over time, consistently put out, there's more chance of you being seen, and then there's more chance. Do you know what I mean? It's a portion. It's like that formula for life somewhere in the universe. If there's X many stars and only this portion have planets and only this portion have life and this portion have intelligent life, it's like that with this. You put out an awful lot of videos, and then of those that you'll only get a certain number of people who view them, and of those only a certain number will come back again, and a certain numbers. So it's definitely hard work, but I think also it's a case of the more you have, the more you can get, provided you keep up the work. Yeah,
the thing is as well, there's a lot of, like, right at this second, I am on 17. Let me just double check, and I'll make my point then. So as we sit right now this minute, if my computer speeds up, come on, I can see the steam coming out of the back. I can hear the mice running on the wheel. I'm on 17. Oh, come on, computer. Computer says no. 17,591. But there's a very small percentage of my videos that have got that number of views.
Yeah.
So by some people's logic, all my videos should have at least 17,000 views, but my videos average around 10,000, which I know is really good for a channel my size. But it's only 2/3 of my subscriber base, roughly. So you get a lot of empty subscribers, as well as subscribers that subscribe because they want to watch.
That just made me think of something I did want to mention to you, Creaky, because perhaps some of those subscribers would watch a video, but they're not getting a notification. I saw your story about maybe doing an email list.
Yeah,
and I must talk to you about how you do those stories, but that's another thing.
I'm still trying to figure it out, to be honest, and when I do, I'll let everyone know, because I think the idea I've had is to kind of bypass the notification system to a certain extent, because if you look in your analytics, it'll tell you how many people have got the bell notification on, and it's 16% of my subscribers. That's all it is.
You see, I did a video a couple of days ago that I was really pleased with. I really enjoyed doing it, and I thought that could get some views and that could spread quite widely because it's fun.
Yeah.
And the views were really quite disappointing compared to the normal level.
Yeah.
And then Mrs. Sensible told me, my videos tend to come out at 9:15 in the evening. She told me about 10 or 11 o'clock the next day, she said, I've just got the notification.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're tinkering with that again.
Yeah. Now, quite often, once I finish my live streams on a Sunday, I'll go downstairs. Mrs. Blinder is sat there watching her Sunday night television, and her phone will ping, and she'll get the notification that I've just gone live on YouTube, even though she knows I've not, because I'm sat next to her. So the notification system is definitely flawed. John Haynes is asking, He's asking me, actually, have I ever been confronted by a flurfer that I've pointed and laughed at? No, I haven't, because I never leave my house, and my house is on the moon anyway. No, I haven't, John. I haven't.
Well, since you never leave your house, you really ought to tidy your room, mate. It's disgusting.
I know. It's
the first time I've ever looked at it. It's disgusting.
It's just filth.
There's a pile of pants in the corner.
I know. And they're not clean either.
No.
They're not clean either. Right. Have we got any more questions? Anyone else got anything they would like to ask Mr. Sensible? Or me? I don't mind answering questions. The girl that likes roses said she sometimes gets notifications for my videos. And that's the problem, see, because I watched a video today, actually, and YouTube themselves will say, and if I can find the video, I'll send it to you later on, Mr. Sensible.
Okay.
That they send notifications out to a percentage of your subscribers, not all of them.
Surely they should send it out to everyone who says,
You'd like to think so.
Yeah.
You'd like to think so, but they send it out to a percentage of people who've hit the notification bell, which makes absolutely no sense to me at all, because my analytics show that only 16% of my subscribers have turned on the notification bell. Yeah. So, what, maybe 10% of those get notified?
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Brainless Steel NL says notifications are slow, and that's why he was late joining us.
Yeah. Because you think it doesn't really make sense, because if I've subscribed to you, and do you know what, I really like this channel, notify me when he does a video, what's the point of not telling me? Because if you tell me, YouTube, I'll probably watch it, because I've said I want to watch Creaky
exactly. Videos. It doesn't make sense, does it? No. And that's why I know Discord is automated to do it, but that's why I always post on Facebook and Twitter as well. But I can't tag every single person that may want to watch. So they'll only see that if they happen to be on Twitter or Facebook when I do that.
I don't know what the answer is.
I don't think there is an answer. I really, really don't. I really, really don't. KG something or other says they go directly to my channel if they're not notified regularly. Yeah, I would imagine there's some people that will just think, oh, I haven't watched a Mr. Sensible video for a few days. Let's jump on and see if he's uploaded anything new.
And then five if they do that on a Saturday.
Yeah. Brainless Steel NL says maybe make an email list for more than one channel. Maybe all in one place.
Difficult. I mean, a lot of people
that would be very difficult and logistically impossible for somebody of the caliber of lazy I am.
Oh, Rob Slides has just asked me, where is the cool cat Arnold? He is in here, but he's asleep.
TechBlog just said he gets all the notifications. There's more than one setting on the bell.
That's true.
It is true, actually.
Yeah.
It is true. It is true. So does anyone else have anything they'd like to ask Mr. Sensible? Because we are going to... Yeah, it's 9:15, so we are going to start wrapping this up slowly. And while we wait for more questions, allow me to thank the Super Chatters. End Flat Earth. Cheers to the two coolest bald guys on YouTube.
Yay.
I dare say, if we put our heads close together, we'd look like a big pair of boobs. Christopher Shapley, DVM CVA, $5. Creaky, as always, you were keeping it classy. I wouldn't go that far, but thank you very much, mate. KingKill33 says yeet. I'm far too old and far too uncool to know what that even means. Joseph Petrick says, put this in your barber fund, you hippie. He must be talking to you. Dollar from Roy Fraser, thank you very much, mate. N Flat Earth has become a channel member, so thank you for that. It's available down in the description and on the channel page, and it starts at $1.99. Tech Blog, $10. You guys are loads of fun to listen to. Thank you both for the work you put into your channels.
Tech Blog's my latest Patreon as well.
Yeah, he's one of my Patreons as well. One of my Patreons as well. Stephen, $2. Where does Mr. Blinder get his good looks? I'll let you know when I find them. Right, any more questions come in? Paul Donnelly, Peaky Blinder. That does seem like a pretty good. Hang on, my false teeth are falling out. That does seem like a pretty good ratio of subs to views. From those figures, you're doing well with having 16% having the bell on and 50%-ish casual viewers. Yeah, it takes about a week for most of my videos to get up to 10k, and a lot of them never get there. I have got more videos now that are in the higher numbers, sort of 10,000 plus, but a lot of them are really old videos. And interestingly enough, I think, and what makes me think it, I will explain. I think one of my videos has been picked up by the algorithm and been promoted by YouTube. And the reason I say that is because it was... when did I do the video? 19th of December. Flat Earther debunks himself. The... Rockets push off air, the guy who was wearing a hoodie and drinking a can of cheap beer in a park. The views were very standard. And then on, let me just check, because I like to give accurate information wherever I can. Clearly I should do that in my videos, but that's a story for another day. And then on the 2nd of January, it literally... The graph was here, and then it just shot straight up, and it's looking like it's going to be the first video on my channel, if it hasn't already, to reach 30,000 views. So it'll be the most viewed video on my whole channel.
I think my highest is just under 15,000. I did Chris the Gate guy. Oh
yeah, I've been tempted so many times to make a video about him. But I've looked at his channel a few times, but I've never really found one and thought, I want to make one on this.
Yeah, it was just one I found, one of his. I thought, do you know what? I can do something with that.
Yeah. That's the thing. See, it's not just I get people sending me videos every day.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time, I can't really do anything with them, and I know that may sound ungrateful, but I've got like a certain criteria to the type of videos I choose. And they've got to be under 15 minutes, otherwise the end result ends up being way too long. There's got to be no copyrighted music in it, obviously, otherwise we can't use it without it getting demonetized or claimed. And
although what I've done with a couple of videos that have got music on, but when they're videos that haven't got talking, they've just got captions over photos or whatever.
I never use those.
It with my own music.
Yeah, I never use those because that was the other thing that I had forgotten about. Unless there's a face, with hands being the exception, because I'm happy to make fun of hands, even though I don't know what he looks like. Unless it's another face on the screen for me to kind of interact with, albeit indirectly, I tend not to make videos about them.
I prefer not to, because it's more interesting when there's someone there.
Yeah,
I have done some of those.
I've done a couple.
I'll just replace it with my own music because it makes no odds.
Yeah. Like I say, I've done a couple, but not that many, not that many at all. Right then, boys and girls, it seems nobody's got anything to say, so I will just double check that I've thanked everyone. And most importantly, I will thank... Oh, I put the side chat right over your face. How rude of me. I moved it over to the third monitor and dumped it right over your face. I'm such a professional. How do I do it? How do I do it?
Do it in Welsh.
Anyway, thank you very much indeed to Mr. Sensible for agreeing to... have you been grilled? I don't know. No, it's just been a nice chat, I would say.
Absolutely. I've really enjoyed it. I mean, We've interacted several times on Discord. We've chatted a couple of times. I've found you an easy guy to get on with, and it's been great fun. And I want to thank you for letting me come on here and just chat in front of your audience. I really appreciate it, mate.
Are you in the side chat at the moment?
Me? No.
Do you want to jump in and share your channel link before we wrap it up? And some of these lovely people, I dare say, will hop over and click the subscribe button for you.
Well, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
It will be very nice. And while you're doing that, Colin Morris, have I ever done a video on Peter and Pete? No, I haven't. I've nearly made a video on them a couple of times, but I haven't actually made one on them. So if you find one that you think is is deserving of the Creaky Blinder treatment, send it over to me, Carl. Send it over to me on email, thecreakyblinder@gmail.com.
Well, I did one of Peter and Pete's, and I really enjoyed it, and that one did well. But
Yeah.
they've turned away from Flat Earth, and they're just doing the chemistry stuff now.
Oh,
The stuff about there's no oxygen in air. Or is it? And you thought there was nitrogen in the atmosphere?
Oh,
Wrong.
God, yeah.
And,
they were always kind of like that when they were covering Flat Earth, though, weren't they?
Oh, I'll just say Stephen just said he sub to me. Thank you, Stephen. I look forward to meeting you on the channel.
There we are. Everybody jump over and aggravate Mr. Sensible as much as you possibly can. Make him work for his money. Leave him loads of comments. Positive comments, obviously. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe to him. Anyway, if it's your first time here, I would say my gas has never been so flabbered that you made it this far into a live stream. How long have we been going? We've been going for...
We started a little late.
Yeah, we did start a little late. We've been going about an hour and 20 minutes, which is kind of where I want these to be. Don't forget, everyone, that these are now available as podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and Google Podcasts, and loads of other platforms. All the links are down in the video description. Thank you very much indeed for watching. If you haven't subscribed to me, how dare you? Do it now. And I will see you all in the next episode. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.